5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Radio Faces number 7, but that is not the important number this week, guys. The important number is 574,187,881. Do you guys know what that is?
I actually do because we just talked about it.
Boom.
Say it.
No,
Let 'em
boom
hear
doesn't
it.
help us, yeah.
Big news. We have a Twitter account, and that's the number of Twitter account we were. Is that proper?
Yeah, that's the number, I guess, that we are. So there's 500 and something million
Words,
before
right?
us.
Past tense. People might add it afterwards.
Moral of the story, there's a
guarantee
lot
you.
of fucking Twitter accounts, and we now
Jesus.
have one.
That's crazy that
It only
people created
took
that.
a year.
A lot of people have been saying, why don't you get a Twitter account? So we got a Twitter
So
account.
fuck all you, we got it.
That's interactive podcasters. We listen to our audience. Either way, we do have one. The handle is radio_faces. So at radio_faces.
Add us up, people. Let's go.
The goal of those tweets will be sports, funny,
Life.
life, tears, sad, a little
Hopefully
everything.
joy.
Hopefully mostly sports. We are going to get a Facebook and some email and some other stuff. For now, baby steps. That's what we got right now. All right. One thing we talked about, I think 5 or 6 podcasts ago, and we're only going to touch on this for a bit, was Hunger Games. No more Hunger Games, I promise. That's not what we're going to talk about. But look out, Hunger Games, because the Avengers beat the fuck out of you this past weekend.
Seriously beat the
Straight
fuck out
shot.
of you.
That's it. Boom. Right in the nuts.
207?
207 million for the Avengers opening weekend. This is the biggest opening weekend of all time.
By an ass load, right?
Who's your favorite Avenger?
Iron Man. He carries the whole movie. Allegedly, I haven't seen it.
Who is my favorite Avenger?
Hulk is stupid. He's just like, Hulk smash. That's all he does.
I love
He's
Hulk.
boring.
So those
He
are
just
the only two I
smashes
can-
shit.
I think we're proving that we haven't seen the movie. So we're the only guys who haven't. But anyway, 207 million, biggest opening weekend ever. This sort of does qualify as a sequel because it's a sequel to, I guess it's a spin-off of a bunch of movies.
Yeah, a bunch of them.
Combination.
Regardless, very impressive. And I'm going to go out and say it right now. Batman Dark Knight Rises will beat this opening weekend.
I don't think...
going
200
no on
something
that
million.
one.
That's tough, man.
I
I
don't think
doubt
so.
it. I doubt it.
Maybe this kicks off the whole.
You just need someone to die before it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Because
right.
Heath Ledger did that,
Yeah, we
and
did.
then Dark Knight went crazy.
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
We did. Anne Hathaway, you jinxed her, and she's going to die eventually.
Something else we've done before and we're going to do again is the this or that portion, and that is going to begin right now. Okay, so for those listening for the first time, and hopefully you're not, because we've been sending these out and annoying you guys. Now we have a Twitter account if we haven't told you already, radio_faces.
Plug.
Nice. Keep doing it.
Love it.
All right. So we're going to throw out a question. It's going to have 2 or more options, and hopefully it's going to promote some debate with Lou and Matt. And just a little housekeeping. Matt is also Chapin. Matt is also Dick. Dick is Chapin. Chapin is Matt.
AKA.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Oh,
Tinkle is a man!
Yeah. Matt is a man.
your gun is digging into my hip.
But there has been
Whoa.
some confusion because I've heard people say, do you have like 5, 6 guys there? Who's Dick? Who's Chapin? This is not amongst our friends from Brampton. This is amongst other people. So just getting that out of the way. Okay.
Thank you.
Our first this or that this week, I'm not sure if you guys saw it, the Dodgers-Rockies game. I'm going to set it up really quick. The first baseman was about 3 feet off the base, and he called the runner out. For those who don't follow baseball, you have to be on first base to be out.
It was so bad.
Did you guys see this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Luke, can we put a picture of this
Yeah,
up?
I'll definitely put that up.
So if you are following on YouTube, if you're watching this podcast on YouTube with the pictures, we're going to put a picture of this up, but I still recommend you Googling it and seeing this play. It makes no fucking sense at all.
It's terrible.
The this or that portion, is it time for Major League Baseball to reconsider their instant replay approach?
I'm going to say no. I mean, you can't use this as a benchmark because this is a 1 in a million. Like, I don't know how the fuck you missed this. What I don't understand is how the home plate umpire doesn't overrule it. It's just everybody missed it. So I disagree completely with, I think you want the human element purity of the game, but somebody's got to make that call.
So you say no, harder on the umps, improve the umps. Chapin?
I'm going to get it right. I think every other sport has adapted to it. We never have any discrepancies. When they get it right, it's just the reality of it.
It's funny, at the time the commentator said it would be virtually impossible to have a worse call in baseball. And he wasn't saying it to be a smartass. I think he actually meant that as fact, and I think he's right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I watch, 100 games a year at minimum. I've never seen anything even close to this.
You guys watch this picture, Google this play. It's the worst call I've ever seen in baseball. Dan Shulman had an interesting solution. And by the way, I'm with you, Chapin. I think, yeah, get the call right. Dan Shulman's solution was have an umpire up in the press box. It takes 15 seconds for him to radio down on a disputed call, maybe have a coach's challenge or something. And, don't have all the umpires leave the field and go run back and say this like they do in football. It would just maybe take too long because the umpires in baseball are a little overweight and they have a long way to go. And I think also, I mean, a lot of people are worried about how long it's going to take on TV.
Sure.
Because baseball games are long enough as it is,
commercial.
right?
So that's why there is a debate. In case anyone's wondering, of course get the call right, but that's the debate because TV time and whatnot. Sticking with TV and the theme of that, UFC was on this past Saturday. It got a 1.0 rating, and for those who aren't as nerdy as me, that is about a 2.25 million viewers. And like I said, for those who aren't as nerdy as me, that is an atrocious number. Their first and second one did more than double that. Yes, maybe everyone was seeing the fucking Avengers movie, but that's not an excuse. You need a better rating than that. So this or that portion is UFC on the decline.
You know what? I don't know. I'm maybe not the best for it because I'm kind of a casual fan, but I don't even know who's on the card. I don't know if it was just a shitty card. I don't know. You watched most of it,
Diaz
right?
versus Miller was the main
But
event.
you watched most of it, right?
Yeah.
Was it a shitty, like, were the fight shitty?
I don't think... Well, here's the thing, right? You can't have St. Pierre, your biggest draw, on every card. The UFC, the way it's designed, doesn't lend itself to that. You can't have your top stars every month.
And
They'd
nobody wants
rather
to
have
tune in.
people pay for that to watch the better stars. I got to disagree with you. I think they'd rather have people
yeah,
pay
even if you
to see
could,
the better stars.
Even if you're right, even if you could do for pay, you can't have them every month.
No, there's some UFCs that are even you pay on pay-per-view and
sure.
they're a little sketch. You're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Of course, the first UFC in November was it was a pay-per-view caliber fight. So anyway, you're saying no, it's not on the decline, Lou?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, everybody's walking around with their little affliction shirts and the UFC hats, and everybody who tries to be a hero. I don't think so.
I think it's going to be tough for them to keep weight. I mean, boxing died off. Everybody was probably watching Mayweather fight. I think that there's a good chance that it's on the decline. It's really tough to, the best fighters are the best fighters, and they hold the title for the longest. It's hard to introduce new contender after contender, and it just eventually gets tiresome.
Yeah, and that's a good point. I mean, the Mayweather fight was that night as well. For what it's worth, the Pacquiao fight was also put up against a UFC free as well before, and that drew double as well. My take, they're losing. They don't have enough marketable stars. Lesnar and St. Pierre were their two biggest pay-per-view draws. St. Pierre's hurt, and Lesnar is, I think, fighting Randy Orton on the next wrestling pay-per-view or something like that. So he's not in UFC anymore. Anyway, I know I'm not allowed to talk about wrestling, so I'm not going to do that. It's hard. It's hard. Okay, we're getting off
Move on, Aaron.
any television, UFC, instant replay topic. We're jumping on to hockey. Barry Trotz and the Nashville Predators suspended Radulov and Kostitsyn for Game 3. No one can really dispute that was the right play. They broke team rules. It was a one-game suspension. Because they won Game 3, he ended up suspending them again for Game 4. They lost 2-0, and now I believe they're in Game 5 as we record this podcast, and they're losing as well and could be eliminated tonight. Was benching them for Game 4 a good move or a bad move?
I think it was a good move. You go with the hot hand. It's hard to dispute a coach's decision at that point. He's the one who's making the decision. I think it's hard to go against that. Just they won.
I completely disagree. I mean, a goalie, I can understand the hot thing, whatever. He can change the outcome of the game. Your, 8th and 9th best forwards, even on their hot games, are not going to be better than two of arguably your best forwards on a team that doesn't score a lot of goals as it is. You go with your best players in the playoffs.
I think it's hard to mess with team chemistry after a victory. Guys are up. Those guys have had problems in the past, just personality-wise. I think it was the right move in hindsight.
I think it's a tough call either way. I think it's a good debate to have because they ended up losing. You're right. If they ended up winning, there's no one who'd be saying otherwise. It's a hindsight
Absolutely.
question, but I think it's worth having. Sticking with hockey, just want a yes or no here. Lou, are the LA Kings going to win the Stanley Cup?
Yes, because nobody looks anywhere remotely as good as them right now.
I completely agree with that. They've taken out the first and second place team in the West, and they've cruised through.
Jonathan Quick's going to win that trophy, buddy. I told you already.
And if you're wondering why I'm grin ear to ear right now, I bet $100 on the LA Kings before the playoffs started. I got 17-1. I'm excited. Payout. Couldn't be playoff hockey unless we talk at least a little bit about suspension. Claude Giroux was suspended. Do you agree with it? And that could mean it should have been more or less. It shouldn't happen at all. Do you agree with the Claude Giroux suspension?
No, I think it should be more. If you saw it, he didn't touch a shoulder, didn't touch a chest. Pure head hit. If it wasn't Claude Giroux, it would have been at least 3 games.
I agree with it. Definitely gotta give him what's due. 3
You agree with
games.
the
Yeah, I would agree. No, I agree with Lou. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
My bad. I agree with Lou. Definitely, should have been more.
I guess they figure the logic is that there's a real good shot they're not even going to have 3 games left, so why the hell suspend him for it? Let him at least try.
They did the same with Torres. They didn't know
Torres
how many
sucks,
games they
though,
were gonna
compared
have.
to Giroux, right?
That shouldn't weigh into it. I hate the fact that
I
star
agree
players
completely that
weighs
it
into
shouldn't.
I think
but
it's clear
does.
it does.
It completely
Case
does.
in point, Weber in round 1. Okay. We can't talk about sports unless we watch it on TV. And here's the question. You can pick one sports network on your cable package. TSN, Sportsnet, or The Score. Which one do you keep?
I'm going with The Score. Constant updates. Love it.
It's definitely Sportsnet for me. All they do is play baseball, and I don't give a shit about hockey.
They play hockey.
Yeah, but they don't play it like baseball is literally 162 games a
I hear
Jays,
what you
right?
mean.
So
I'm going TSN. We can all go to each other's houses.
why though? Why TSN?
I think their sports news show is the best. Sports Center. I think their analysts are the best at what they do. They don't have baseball analysts because they're not trying to do baseball. Sportsnet's hockey analysts,
So you're talking like Drager, McKenzie, whatever.
I think they're legit. I think
Yeah,
they're true
they're
insiders.
guys.
They break news. But either way, I'd like to hear what people think about this. So if you are listening to this podcast, let us know what you, and maybe we'll let everyone know next week, or tweet it.
Yeah, there we go.
And if you guys didn't know, we have a Twitter account.
Yeah, you did
Really?
mention that once or
What
4
number?
times, yeah.
Radio_faces. All right. We are done with this or that portion. We're going to move on to wins and fails. Wins what we liked from the week, fails what we didn't like from the week. My fail is simple. It is the World Hockey Championships. No one gives a fuck about this tournament. It is not a tournament to determine who is the best country. It is a tournament to determine who is the best country of players who either missed the playoffs or got out in the first round and still wanted to go. This tournament proves nothing. I heard analysts talking, well, what if Canada's out next game? Who cares if Canada's out next game? It doesn't matter. It doesn't prove anything.
I don't even know what do you win? Is there like some shitty trophy? I don't
A
even
flight
know
home.
what it is. They pay
Do they
for
get
it.
paid?
I don't know.
I don't
Who?
think so.
Case in point.
I will pay them not to go.
All right. Aaron does not want to watch it.
embarrassing.
Is it
I
on
mean-
TSN?
Yeah,
Oh,
it is.
it probably is on
If
TSN.
it's hockey, it's
oh,
on TSN.
no, it's on TSN, which... Lou, win or fail this week?
I guess I'm going to say it's a win. We went through McDonald's on Saturday night. We were a little intoxicated. I wasn't. I was driving. And I honestly think I had the movie phone guy through the drive-thru. It was just... He was literally like, you'd order something, he'd be like, is there anything else, sir? And then you order another one, he's is there anything else, sir? And then, AJ here was dying for a McFlurry. So I tried to order that, and he says, sorry, sir, machine is broken, sir. All right, you know what, can I just have a milkshake then? Same machine, sir. Apologize, sir. And this guy was just an idiot. Now, I don't know if he was an idiot or if he literally just was bored with his life at 3 in the morning, but... You know what? He brought us entertainment, so I guess it's a win because
The movie phone guy at McDonald's.
It was literally. It was just he hit the record, like the play button. It was just the same recording over and over.
If you'd like nuggets, press 1 now.
It was pretty much what it was. It was honestly like that. I wish I could have recorded him.
Why
Like,
don't you
and
just
even-
tell me the burger you want to
Yeah,
eat?
when we went to the actual booth, he was still talking like that. It wasn't just through the mic.
That's awesome.
awesome.
I got a win this week. It's going out to old people. I think they're fucking awesome. I was on downtown walking on the corner. A little lady had a walker with a basket, a bunch of groceries. She's out doing her thing. She's in a nice little dress, and she's got purple Air Jordans on, like bright purple Air Jordans. And this woman, if you can picture, just a little old lady on the corner.
Wedding Crashers lady.
Wedding Crashers.
Foul-mouthed
lady.
old woman.
Yeah, she was awesome, and just support old people.
I'm so glad that didn't end with Cromartie having sex with her.
Why?
Because the last 2 podcasts have had Chapin, somehow Cromartie having sex with a bunch of
Somebody
women.
or Kardashian, and then he goes to old people.
No, I'm just glad it was kept civil and G-rated.
Big Dyke.
We're done another week, guys. And before we go, we should tell everyone that we have a Twitter account.
Radio_faces.
Thanks so much for listening. Follow us on Twitter, and we will be back next week with number 8.